Today is a good day because last week on the gram I gave away a free 3-day gym workout for beginners and everyone went fucking mental for it. To the point where I thought about setting up an automation software to message people after they get the thing, which it'd be smart at this point because it's not worth copying and pasting the same response to people when I send them the initial workout. And I thought I'd give it to people that also subscribe to me on YouTube, but at the same time making a video giving you a bit more context around the workout so that you don't just look at it once, not bother doing it, or try it for 1 week and then fucking give up because your pet duck is sick. I want you to make the most out of it and get the best results possible. So I'm going to cover how heavy you should lift, when you should set up your training days, and what was the other one? There was one more thing I was going to cover. Yes, how to progress the program once you start getting good, because that will happen if you follow it. By the way, the link for the workout is in the description. There's no email needed or anything like that. It's just a Google Drive link. So let's get into it. Hello, what is the crack? Let me run you through the workout. So I'm not going to go through the tutorials because you can just click the link in the description, get this for yourself and watch each of the tutorials. It will be a waste of your time and mine, but I am going to go through a couple of bits of context that will be important for you to know so that you can make the most out of this and get the best results possible if you are going to use this. You'll see I have the sets and reps, the rest time. You probably know what that is already. If not, watch my other video on starting out in the gym as a beginner. It goes through some basic terminology. Not sure if I can link it anywhere in this video. If I can link it, I'll put it here. If not, it'll be kind of awkward. Most common question I'm more than likely going to get from you is, how much weight do I lift, Barry? And unfortunately, I have no set answer for that. And maybe you've had a program before where it did show you how much weight to lift, but the reality is, if I told you to lift 10 kilos for the flat dumbbell press for 3 sets of anywhere between 8 to 12 reps, for some people it would be way too heavy, and for some people it would be way too light. And maybe for 2% of people it might be absolutely spot on. It's the perfect amount of weight they should be lifting. So the perfect amount of weight you should be lifting is not a set weight. It is a set level of difficulty. And what we call that in resistance training terminology is, what intensity are you training at? It has nothing to do with how much you're sweating or how heavy you're breathing. It has everything to do really with how close you are working to muscular failure. So you want to make sure that you're maybe shy of 2 to 3 reps of muscular failure, at least starting out. And then once you get a bit more experience, it's fine to be 1 rep shy of muscular failure, of technical failure. Not absolute failure, because technical failure requires you maintain your fucking technique. So you need to make sure you keep doing the exercise to the point where you're very, very close to not being able to maintain your technique. And then when you can no longer maintain the correct technique, that is when you stop. And so that's why your ability to train more intensely over time and get better results with the exercises you do improves, simply just because you get better at the exercise. So that's the best way I can put it. That way you're able to maximize the intensity you're training at whilst also not being stupid with your technique. The exception there is if you're doing an exercise where the technique is so simple, you can literally just push yourself right off the bat. But even still, I don't recommend doing that because you'd be walking around like Bambi that has gotten fucked sideways for 2 weeks. Ease into it slowly. The second thing you're going to want to consider here is how you're going to structure your session. So what days are you going to do? Day 1, day 2, day 3? I don't recommend Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I don't have the names on that for a reason, because there is some flexibility. Rule of thumb is, takes maybe 72 hours, the equivalent to 3 days, not sure if that's 72 hours, for your muscle to recover fully. Now your muscle does not need to recover fully before you train it again, but ideally you leave it at least 2 days. So if you can structure these sessions in a way that you can leave it at least 2 days in between training most muscle groups, you're on the money. So what that would look like is Monday upper, Tuesday lower, because you're training different muscle groups. It's okay to put them back to back. And then you leave 2 days in between training full body. So Monday upper, Tuesday lower, Wednesday rest, Thursday rest, Friday training full body. I'm a bit sleep deprived here. You can probably tell from the way I'm talking. Don't do sleep deprivation. It's worse than drugs all the time. And that's not a joke. So Monday, Tuesday, Friday, that could work. Tuesday, Wednesday, Saturday, you get the idea. If you're really stuck, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, you're leaving at least 1 day rest there. Just don't train the same muscle group back to back. It's kind of a waste of your time. Then the last thing I want to go through before I sign off here is how you progress this program, because it has sets and reps, set exercises, and there's nothing, it's just like a Word document, right? There's no way that this is going to advance for you. The only way you can progress this that's obvious is when you get stronger, you lift more weight. We'll just take the flat dumbbell press as an example. Let's say you do the flat dumbbell press and you decide to use 10 kilos. We'll stick with a 10 kilo weight. Bag of spuds, bag of potatoes in Ireland for any non-Irish listeners. Let's say you can do 3 sets of 10 kilos for 12 reps. So you do 12 reps there on all 3 sets, 3 rounds, resting 2 minutes there in between. Next session, what you want to do is go to 12.5 kilos or increase the weight to the next set of dumbbells up and see how many you can get. If you get 12, 12 and 12 all again, what you want to do after that, you guess it, increase it next session. However, if you get 8, 8 and 8, keep working away at increasing the EPs. Why can't I talk today? Keep working away at increasing the reps until you can get 12, 12 and 12. And then once you do that, progress the weight. There is a name for this, but essentially you're progressing the reps until you hit the top end of the rep range. Then you bring the weight up. And that way you'll make sure that you make the most out of this program. You're progressing, you're getting stronger. You're not relying on having to lift more weight every session, which isn't always the best idea. And then if you really get stuck and aren't seeing results, increase the number of sets for the exercises that you want to progress more on. So let's say that is the flat dumbbell press. Just do 4 sets of 8 to 12 instead, which increases the time you spend in the gym, but that's why it's your last resort. There will come a time where it might make sense to do that, and where 4 days might be better than 3 because it'll be a bit more convenient time-wise. Now you can execute this program perfectly, but the reality is your results are going to be dog poo unless you also get your nutrition right. Luckily for you, I've made a video breaking down how you can set up your nutrition so that you can start to see more muscle definition and benefit more from workouts like this. So click that video there, take a pen and paper with you. Bob's your uncle, your dog's your cat. Subscribe to me or I'll eat your biscuits.